There he is.
I don't. I'm not
Welcome to today's episode of Identity Shift, and I'm so excited. We're here in Bentonville, Arkansas right now at the beautiful Compton Hotel with a very special guest, the individual that planted the flag here in Arkansas for PAK Home Realty and has had some amazing breakthroughs that we'll get into and has really just developed so much as a leader. So I'm excited for this episode. Mr. José Esparza, if you can share with the viewer, how long have you been in the industry, a little bit about yourself, and we'll start there.
Yeah, so my name is José Esparza. I was born in 1980 in Texas, moved here to Norris, Arkansas in 1989. I decided to get my real estate license in 2006, so it's been 20 years in the business already. And before joining PAK, before opening PAK, before saying, you know what, let's go open the company to Arkansas, bringing PAK to Arkansas, I was working at a company where I was paying a fee to be there. And so I remember something that I've told you before, that I had a few agents, and with that, you know, there was a lot of people, a lot of agents who wanted to be part of the team. But because the cost was so much, I was having to say, no, I'm not able to hire you. I'm not able to bring you in, just because the cost was getting expensive. You know? And so internet fees, coffee fees, water fees.
So every time you would bring an agent on board, or somebody would want to come work with you under your leadership, which is crazy to me because you're such an amazing leader. So I can see how people would be attracted to working with you. You would have to tell them like,
hey, to say, no, I can't hire you right now, because the minute I said, yes, come join the company, come join the team, I had to get my wallet and be like, here you go. Like, I have to pay that fee. So I was paying a lot of money per month. And so I had to tell these agents, I'm sorry, I can't bring you in as much as I would love to. And so when you introduced PAK, I was like, this is a good opportunity. This is a good opportunity to say yes to the agents, so that I can show them, that I can guide them, that I can help them. Not only that, but with the tools that you guys have, the support, the role play, the coaching. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and this is why I said yes. Let's bring PAK to Arkansas.
I love it. Well, it's been as I mentioned earlier, and we'll kind of get into his amazing leadership and how he's developed as a leader, and also in his production. But Jose, I'm curious what I really want to kind of, and I know you touched on it a little bit, where you were almost having to tell people no, but like, what was the thing that was keeping you up at 3 a.m. before joining PAK, right? Before bringing like the brokerage here? Was it that calling to more leadership? Was it a calling to maybe more scaling? Was it just 20 years in the business? Like, where were you at? Like, what did you see?
There was more than just selling real estate. There was more to just production. There was more. There had to be more. And I was like, what is that? I know I want to open my own real estate firm. I know I want to open my company. But I don't want to do this on my own. And so then when you introduced the company, I'm like, man, I have the support. It was just like right there. So why not?
And I know for you, one of the things that you've shared was like realty was sold for people with vision.
When you said realty was sold for people with vision, I said so into real estate. Like, let's talk more. Tell me more about so into real estate, right? Because it's always selling.
Right.
And I was at a point that I used to sell, but I was forgetting about myself. So it's when you said realty was sold for people with a vision, that automatically meant mindset, taking care of you, so that you can take care of the rest. Right.
And as we always talk about, right, we work harder on ourselves than we do on our businesses, and then through that, we create and build the business of our dreams.
Exactly.
And you guys are gonna love this. We'll get into the travel schedule and all that good stuff because it's something that we almost we have a lot of fun with, right? When I'm speaking, I'll say, well, Jose works, 6 months out of the year, and he sells all these homes, and he's building this brokerage, and he's doing so many great things. But it truly is like you just told me the other day. We were talking when I was on my way out here. We're planning for it. You said, I'm taking the whole month of June off.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is just incredible. And going from a place where I'm just working, doing deals.
Not exercising, not taking care of myself, not taking care of the mindset. It was just working.
Yeah.
You know, now it's more intentional. I'm intentional with getting out there, being intentional with my business, making my phone calls, following up with my clients. Not only that, but following up with the agents, being intentional with my business, taking care of myself, right? The exercise, the mindset, the meditation, the breath work, the healthy eating. And what happens is that automatically, because you're intentional with your business, automatically you receive more. You know what I mean? You receive abundance because you're just open to receive.
Yeah, you're magnetizing.
Exactly, your vibes is different, so you're just attracting. So it's all about being intentional with your business, but also taking care of you.
Yeah. So I'm curious, right? Before joining PAK, was there anything? And this is a good question for you, because I will share. I remember that process. I presented PAK to Jose, and he was like, "I'm in. Let's do it. Let's go." Like, almost to the point where I was even like, "Whoa!" Like a different state. It really took me out of my comfort zone. You did that for me, you know. And now 8 states, 9 states, whatever it is, that like you were the one
growing.
and growing, and you were the one that started that, you know. So, but the question is though, was there any doubt almost? Was there any like fear? Like what? Was that present for you at all in any way, shape, or form?
It was like anything, right?
Yeah.
That fear, the ego trying to protect you, the other agents, are you sure like this is the right thing for you? And like, I understand like fear is trying to protect us, right? It's the ego trying to protect us, or family members or friends trying to protect you, right? It's normal. But when I listen to fear, when I sense fear, that's a moment for me to say, bring it on. Let's face it. You know, why am I feeling this fear, right? You talk a lot about identity shift.
Yeah.
And so
the podcast.
This is what it is. Like,
yeah.
When you sense that fear, yes, of course I sense fear. Of course, you know, like, how do we open that company? Alex, my sister, you know, Alex, we're gonna open PAK. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yes, there's that fear. Yeah, what if my agents don't follow me? Yeah, what if, you know, we fail? Yeah, the company is brand new, but you know, you were open not even a few months.
A few months.
And but you know, there's that fear. But what if it does work out, right? And so you shift your identity of saying, let's face that fear. And say, thank you, fear. I know you're trying to protect me, but I need to move on to something better, right? I need to give myself that opportunity. And that's when you talk about identity shift, it's like, let's talk more about identity shift. Because that's the moment for you to face that fear, to sense that fear and say, no, I'm moving on. I'm gonna step into my I am, right? You talked about I am a lot. I'm gonna step into my confidence. I'm gonna surrender. I'm gonna serve from heart, from love. And I'm just gonna do the best that I can. And as long as you do everything from here,
wow.
As long as you're creating from heart, from love, everything's gonna go perfect.
You know what's so great is that, like, by the way, I just took so many mental notes right there, and you know, you said something so powerful. You said, what if it does work out? Right? What if it does, you know, go my way? What if this fear is really just that protection? What if I do have that identity shift? I do step into my I am. And so I'm curious for yourself, like, what were some of the first, so let's say now you joined PAK, right? Well, really, you didn't join, you started it here, right? So it's like you joined and you started it. So what were some of the first breakthroughs that you started experiencing? So like, what were, like, I don't know, maybe it was an agent that said yes. Maybe it was seeing the first listing sign go up.
Well, I mean, breakthroughs of hosting events, of hosting masterminds, of getting the brand out there. Like, I knew I had to get the brand out there. I knew that there was other agents from other states watching, and I knew that I needed to step into my power, into my confidence, into this creator of, like, go make it happen. Go do whatever you need to do. Go do events, go do the masterminds, go do networking, go attract agents. And it's okay if an agent says, no, I'm not interested. You know, to just be okay with that, to surrender to that, you know, to say, okay, and I've learned so much from that, you know? I've learned
Please share.
so much. Yeah, like agents sometimes will say, hey, I'm not interested, thank you so much. But as long as you continue as A, not being attached to the outcome, not being attached to what they said, and then B, just let it go, right? Surrender and move on. Then eventually they're the ones who are going to be calling you. Hey, I really love what you are doing. I love the opportunities that you have to offer. I see that PAK is growing. I want to interview with you.
Yeah.
So then it changes. They want to interview with you, right? But the bottom line, Anthony, is not to be attached to the outcome, whether it's good, whether it's bad, right? That's the key right there. It could be bad. Oh, I'm not interested. Don't call me. You're an idiot. Whatever. Don't want to hear. Okay, no problem. You move on. Not being attached to that.
Yeah.
You know what? You're the best agent. You're the best broker.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know what I mean? I received that.
Yes.
I received that.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. But not being attached to that either. You know what I mean?
You know what's so interesting, right? You talk about, and that's a huge breakthrough. You talk about leadership, right? And you talk about, and I almost think back. Let's think the opposite, right? I'm an agent, and I'm watching this, and I'm going through a transaction, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, he's a broker. You know, he's been in the business for 20 years. Like, how does this relate to me? Well, watch. You're in a transaction. Right, you're doing a deal, and something goes wrong on an inspection that's uncalled for. Maybe the inspection goes great, and it's a clean report. You know, maybe the inspection goes not so great, and you've got to have that discussion with the client, and the client's upset a little bit. You know, and it's like, oh, or if we're attached to the outcome, then what's our natural response? We're broken down.
You're broken down, and it like absorbs your energy, and then you're struggling with the next conversation, with the next opportunity.
Right.
You block yourself because you're so attached to that inspection report. You're so attached to that transaction because in your head you had money, right? But then at the end of the day, that contract fell through, which means you're gonna have to go find another buyer for that listing, or you're gonna have to go find that buyer another house.
Yeah.
And then it's more time, right? So that's what you're thinking. You're thinking money, like, oh man, I'm out of pocket $10,000, I'm out of pocket $20,000.
Right.
So what happens is that you're attached, and then you're blocking yourself from receiving.
That's right.
Right? Where if you can create and say, you know what, accepting, surrendering to it, saying, okay, we have done everything that we could to save this deal. But we couldn't save the deal. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be working perfect. I may not get the $10,000 right now. I'll get those $10,000 next month, maybe. Or in 2 months, or in 3 months.
It's in perfect.
You move on.
Yeah.
It's in perfect order.
It's in perfect order.
You just gotta move on. You cannot be attached, and you gotta serve from heart, from love.
Yes.
Everything that you do, everything you say, everything you think about, every thought that you have needs to come from here.
Yeah.
It needs to come from here.
Yeah.
Because when it comes from here, you just receive. Everything works out perfect.
So
I got a listing yesterday.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I did my meditation in the morning. Actually, yesterday was Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes.
We did breath work.
Okay, yes. Which,
I
by
love
the way,
breath work.
Jose leads the company in what's called our health and being, and it's a meditation that takes place. And in essence, it's, for a lot of people, the commentary that I've got is it's the first time that they've actually had the space to even do something like this. And it's done via Zoom, so they're doing it a lot of times out of the comfort of their home or something like that. And so continue to share the story, because I do want to talk a little bit about
that. I mean, like yesterday, I'll give you an example. Like, I love doing breathworks. I love hosting those classes because I know that it really helps the agents. Because a lot of times what breathwork does is that it removes that energy, that low frequency energy, like doubt, guilt, stress. Stress. I'm sure you just got here from California. I'm sure you're a bit stressed, right? From the flight and stuff, you're a bit tired. So that's what breathwork does. It helps you to feel it, right? Put it on the surface and say, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna move on, so that you can make more room for clarity, so you can have more clarity, so that you can show up for yourself, so that you can show up for the agent, so that you can show up better for the clients. And automatically, because you're doing all that work, automatically you're intentional with your business, you're intentional with your marketing, you're intentional with your follow-ups. Because you're doing that, automatically a lot of times you're just going to receive. And so yesterday, for example, I got a listing just after the breathwork. I told myself, with the meditation that we do, I receive abundance, I receive the money, I receive the clients, I attract the best clients. Automatically, I know it was part of it, is that I received a call or a text message, I want to put my house on the market as soon as possible.
Wow.
Okay, and let me send you the list. Let me do a market analysis for you. Did the market analysis. This is how much we should put your listing for, your house for, on the market for, and we'll take photos on Saturday. Got the listing at 6%. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm just curious. What's the sales price?
On that one, it's $350,000.
$350,000. Let's just say you're at
$10,000.
$10,000, right? And now that's bam, like created it, And what's interesting to me, Jose, is that without some of these tools, we hear the flip side of it. We hear the opposite of the interest rates are too high or they're too low. Both create a challenge, right? There's a war going on. There's this change that's coming in place, and this drama that happened, and all of these different things that I think that our audience really, what'll happen is sometimes you like you said, right? The stresses of life, they're not always teed up, and going, okay, I'm going into a stressful situation right there. No, this is you wake up in the morning, from morning to the afternoon, you can get a call, and then boom. So the practice that you're sharing with everyone here, and the example that you're presenting is regardless of what time of the day, regardless of where you're at, you learn some of these core principles. You're able to get right back into magnetism.
Yeah. The thing is, again, we cannot be attached. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. There's a lot of the politics, a lot about the religion, a lot about the colors and whatever. There's a new virus going on.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yeah.
And we cannot be looking at our cell phones and being attached to that. It's unfortunate that things are happening, but there's nothing that we can do.
Uncontrollable.
You know what I mean? We cannot really fix that. There's no way we can fix it. The only way we can fix that is by not being attached, by us making a difference, to showing up for ourselves. Controllable. Showing up for ourselves, waking up in the morning, being intentional with your business, doing whatever works for you, whether it's prayer, meditation, reading a book, just giving yourself that time, that space in the morning. Work on you so that you can show up better for your clients, so that you can show up better for your family, so that you can be the light, so that you can be the example. That we can do.
That's right.
That's controllable. We can create that for ourselves, right? What happens automatically, Anthony, is that you do that for yourself, right? And you post positive things on social media versus the negative stuff. People are going to see that, and people are going to see, I love your energy. I love how peaceful you are. I love how you are just attracting so many clients. I love how you're helping so many agents. I want to be part of it. That's how we change the world. By us changing, by us creating. We are the light.
It's so good. I know how positive of a role model and of an influence that you are with not only the agents here in Arkansas, but just the agents throughout the company, because they share with me. I'm curious, as a leader, have there been any moments where you're just it's almost like I mentioned earlier, you sell a lot of real estate, and you've done well for yourself, right? In your timeline of being in this business. But have there been any moments where you're just me stepping into this leadership, I've made such a big impact, and you can almost see the impact in certain individuals' lives starting to come to fruition? Have you seen any examples?
Well, I mean, are you asking me about examples of other agents?
Just examples that you've seen of like people breaking through.
A lot of agents.
And what that represents for you.
I mean, that's what we are here to do. We are here to create. We are here to make a difference in this world. And when people see that in you, and they're like, you know what, I want to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
I want to close 4 million in a month.
Yeah.
It's doable. It's possible. Like everything is possible. I'll give you an example. Look at Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus Carrion is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is what I love about PAK, how we are holding each other accountable without telling you I'm holding you accountable.
That's right.
Let me tell you, give you an example of this.
Please, yeah.
Jesus, for example. I started my journey of like taking care of myself, taking care of my mindset, and I started losing a lot of pounds, and I started giving myself that love of working out, and I lost about 50 pounds.
Yeah,
Anthony.
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
Jesus saw that. And he's like, I want to do what you're doing. Okay, I want to do what you're doing. Then he started getting into like healthy eating, taking care of himself, taking care of his mindset, working out. He got a trainer. Then I saw Jesus and I'm like, who is this guy? Like you can see his abs.
Oh, it's amazing.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How come I can't get there? You know?
So now you're
So now I'm following him.
That's
Like,
great.
you need to call my trainer. You need to measure your macros. You need to do this. You need to do that.
Yeah.
Like, give me his number. I'll call him.
Yeah.
And then it took me like 3 months for me to actually say, hey, I'm gonna go join Jonathan.
Yeah.
He's our trainer. And so I lost 9 pounds already just
Wow,
by
that's
being
amazing.
in his program.
That's
But
amazing.
that's the beauty of PAK, is that we help each other, we hold each other accountable without telling you, hey, you gotta go do something. You know what I mean? We see each other, like, you'll see agents that join PAK, like Tanya Martinez. She ran a half marathon recently,
Wow.
a month ago.
That's incredible.
A half marathon. Jesus ran a half marathon.
Wow.
I remember, and I know this is just like mindset or taking care of the body,
Sure.
right? But this is also with work.
Well, they're also growing in their business,
growing
though.
in
It's
their
like
business.
it's a spoken
Tanya
word.
has she has $1 million in sales in contracts, under contracts, pennies,
Wow.
this month alone.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's incredible.
And so Jesus is doing so good.
Yeah.
Javier,
Yeah.
brand new agent, 7 deals under contract last month. You know what I mean? We have a lot of agents who are newer, who are just doing so good because, I'm not saying it's me, I'm saying I'm the example, right?
Yeah.
Then Jesus is the example, then Tanya is the example.
Right.
We are the example. Domino effect.
It's an amazing domino effect. It's amazing collaboration.
Yes.
That is, it's a mindset, right? It's a mastermind is really what it is.
It
The
is.
power of the mastermind is now your thoughts almost start to penetrate my mind and they start to overcome my negative thoughts, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so we were just removed from our last spot where we were shooting Identity Shift, but we're right back, and we'll jump into the next question, which is, I want to talk about.
Let's talk about.
Okay.
A lot of times, someone right there would have been like, "Why? Why are you gonna kick us out of this place?"
Oh yeah.
You know, and so maybe a little bit of anger,
Sure.
a little bit of stress, right?
Yeah.
Like the rejection of like,
Yeah.
get out of here, right? And so people would sometimes react of like, why?
Yeah.
And get a little upset. Instead you say, okay, I'm just gonna surrender, I'm gonna accept the challenge. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you move on. You
Oh,
move
yeah.
on to something better. And now we're here.
Well, I always work to think that two things, right? The world is in perfect order.
Mhm.
So there's probably a reason why we had to be here right now, and I don't know what that is, to be determined. But the other one is even when things are not going my way, they're going my way,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's interesting. And I think when you take that perspective, I think it's a valid point that you brought up. Somebody comes up and says, "You can't film here anymore." Oh no, we just the shot or whatever. Hopefully the viewer isn't upset, and if you are, it's okay. It'll work itself out, right? However, when you have that perspective, again, we're not attached, which is what you were just
This
talking
is a
about.
perfect example. Maybe this is why it's happening.
That's right.
So that we can talk about it.
I think it's beautiful. Yeah. So I think it's amazing.
And when you do that, Anthony, you create this beautiful peace in your heart.
Yes.
And you have this freedom.
Yes.
It's like it's freedom. It's what you create for yourself.
It's very liberating.
Yeah.
It's very liberating because you remove expectation from yourself, from others, from the hotel, from the transaction, from whatever.
From the transaction. Yeah.
Whatever, and you then allow to enter gratitude. We're still good. You're still good. I'm still.
I'm here.
I'm in peace.
I'm
I'm
in gratitude.
intact, right?
I can breathe. I can see. I can walk.
Yeah, I like this.
I have my health.
Yeah, we're good,
You know?
right? So we allow for gratitude to then enter,
Yes.
right? And so that's a big one is that when you remove that expectation, you allow for that gratitude to enter.
Yeah.
So again, these aren't the things that are being necessarily spoken about in the real estate industry. However, I truly believe that it's that pathway to more transactions,
It is.
to building the business of your dreams.
Yeah. The transaction falls through. It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll find them another one.
Yeah.
We'll go find another one.
Yeah.
We'll go find 10 buyers.
Yeah.
We'll go find 10 listings.
Yeah, yeah. And and then the clients feel that as well, right? Because I was taught, I'm the peacemaker in the transaction,
yes.
right?
Mhm.
Like I'm the one that's like you call
Find
me,
solutions.
Yeah,
Find solutions. Do the
solution
best
for
that
us.
you can, and that's it.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Like I recently had a termination because it turns out that someone passed away in the house 5 months ago. And I said, listen, I can find you solutions to get your closing costs paid, to fix repairs, but your piece, that I cannot fix.
Oh, no.
Like if you don't feel comfortable, we just move on.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Terminate, we move on.
That's a great point. Great point. So, systems and support that you noticed at PAK that were different, maybe from your previous experience with different brokerages. What was maybe one or two things that just like that makes a difference?
I mean, the role plays.
Okay.
The role plays in the mornings. I tell every agent right now we're doing the seller pre-qual.
Yes.
Asking the right questions.
Yeah.
Handling the objections.
Yeah.
Asking those questions with confidence, right? That's what they teach you at PAK.
Yeah.
With the role plays.
Right.
The buyer pre-qual. I mean, there's a lot of scripts that we go by, but it's like getting in there and actually role playing.
Right.
And I've noticed that a lot of agents have that fear to even get in there, to even turn on the camera, to even role play.
It's real.
Right?
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let that be your medicine.
That's right.
And that's what I tell the agents. If you have that fear to unlock, or what do you call it, the camera? Unlock the camera, whatever.
Open up your voice.
Open up your camera.
Somebody
Open
across
up
the
your
country.
voice.
Yeah.
Open up your voice to someone across the country
Right.
on the role play.
Right.
What does that say about yourself? You know, that means that you need to work on this.
Yes.
It means you need to face that fear.
Yes. Yeah.
Why do you have that fear? And so I always say real estate is medicine
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah.
And the role plays in itself, like that's a huge win for the agents. It's a good system that we have at PAK so that the agents can work on not only on asking the right questions,
That's right.
handling objections, but facing your fear.
That's right. And when you start to face those fears, you start to truly unlock that identity shift.
Yes.
You start to really step into that I am. I'm curious because, business is doing well from what I see because you're a consecutive platinum capper. You've earned 1001 Founders Pack. You've done the Emerald Executive. You've done a lot of those things, right?
So that's my favorite.
Yeah, okay.
The Emerald Executive. I love that Anthony takes us all on a vacation. Pays for our hotel, our food, our coffee lattes,
Sinatra.
our massage, Sinatra. That's the best.
All the fun stuff, right? From a lifestyle perspective, though, like, how has lifestyle changed for you? And I know you talked about it a little bit earlier, but I really want to kind of dive into it a little bit. It's like you went from like I'm working, like doing deals, and a lot of deals, by the way, right? To like now, like how has lifestyle changed? And I see, from my perspective, like I see you traveling more. I see you just exploring a lot. And I don't know if that was something you were doing before or if it's.
I'm doing it more now.
Okay, talk about that though.
Well, yeah. So with PAK, like you said, I'm part of the Farmers PAK. I'm part of the 1001. The residual income on its own, like that's good money right there.
Sure.
So that gives me that freedom to say, you know what, you can take off because you got this money coming in. You got the 1001, you got the residual income. So I mean that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So it gives you that freedom to say, you know what, I'm gonna go take off, right? And the thing is that even though that I'm in the elite group of
Sure.
the 1001, there's still room for production. There's
Sure.
still room for improvement.
Yeah.
There's a black diamond, there's a diamond,
Yeah.
there's all these levels with the residual income that I can still be part of, that I'm still working on, you know? And so there's always room for improvement, and that's what I love about PAK. And so, yeah, it's just like, I feel like, okay, this is the way I see PAK. PAK is like the vehicle.
Yeah.
You've created this vehicle, okay? Thank you. You brought this opportunity for so many agents, this vehicle where you can step into your power so that you can create and go make things happen not only for yourself, but for your family, for agents, for the customer, for the title closer, for the loan officer.
Right.
You say all the time, it takes one transaction feeds about 30 people in the transaction or so. So this is an opportunity to package the vehicle because you can step into different levels, different ways of receiving money.
Right. Yeah.
It's like you're creating opportunities not only for yourself but for the agents.
Well, you think about what we've been talking about, which is you think about the sense of being attached.
Yeah.
You know, what the energy that someone is coming from when they're attached to that deal closing. You know, the client sometimes will lose in that regard. You know, so as you mentioned, right, you almost shift mindsets. You go from a place of I want to help this client. I get to help this client, not I have to help this client. You know, I get to versus I have to do this. You know, and that's the goal. The goal is through those different programs is to be able to create that residual flow that allows for an agent to say, you know what, I want to build the business of my dreams from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Like I'm going to be moving to Colombia.
Yeah.
I'm going to be running my business from Colombia.
Yeah.
I love the nature of the mountains.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I see it. Like it's already there. I see it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's what PAK does. It gives you that opportunity
So
to
good.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like I said, I'm creating opportunities for other agents. Look at Tanya.
Yeah.
Tanya's amazing. She's helping agents.
Yeah.
She's stepping into her IM and she's creating opportunities for agents. She's bringing agents. She's supporting the agents. She's showing them the tools. So again, like you created this vehicle where you gave that to me, then I gave that to Tanya, and then Tanya's giving that to the other agent.
Yeah. So good.
You know what I mean?
So good.
And everybody wins at the end of the day.
I agree. That is so good. Final thoughts for our audience, someone that's watching this, that's saying, you know what, I'm ready to step more into my I am. I'm ready to create that identity shift, and you know what, I'm ready to build the business of my dreams. What would you share with that person?
I would share to step into your I am, right? What does that mean exactly? It means that when there's an opportunity, when there's that fear, right? When you want to do a social media post, right? And you want to do a video, and then you're editing the video, and then like, oh, I don't want to post. Like use that for the opportunity for you to step into your I am, to say, thank you, I love you, that fear that you're having, your heart starts boom, 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 to say, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go because I know you're trying to protect me, but I know there's another opportunity for me. So face that fear, post that video, make that phone call that agent, do whatever you need to do, because those are opportunities for you to shine that light in you, to shine that light in your vessel.
That was so
If that makes
powerful.
sense.
That makes total sense. That is the path to stepping into the I am.
Yes.
Is that fear?
Yes.
Wow, that is so good.
When you're in jealousy, when you're in doubt, when you're jealous of that other agent because that agent closed more deals than you, like stepping into that as well, right? The competition, the doubt, like, are they gonna hire me as their agent?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go to that appointment, to that listing appointment. What if they say no to me? what if they reject me to say, no, I'm going to step into my I am. What does the I am mean? I am confident. I am powerful. I am love.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. My
Yeah.
trainer the other day, he's like, man, I'm tired. And I'm like, nah, be careful how you use the I am.
That's right.
Remove the I am tired and say, I am powerful. I am relentless. I'm confident. I'm energized. I'm energy. I'm love.
Yeah.
He started, I'm not kidding you, Anthony. He started laughing. Oh my gosh, that helps a lot.
But you can shift your state
You can
so fast.
shift your identity. Identity shifting is
Yeah.
like, I love identity shift. When you talk about identity shift, like,
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, that's why we're doing this podcast,
Yeah.
because I really do see the identity shifts. You've done an amazing job. I see the identity shifts in so many individuals, and being able to get your perspective with the audience, which is a powerful one. How can individuals find you, reach out to you, social media?
Social media,
Yeah.
Instagram, José Esparza, NWA, Jesparza, NWA. That's how you can find me. That's the best way.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're getting ready to celebrate our
3-year anniversary.
3-year anniversary
Yes,
tomorrow, which is very exciting. So always a pleasure to be here in downtown Bentonville, and thank you. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and so this way you can stay up to date with any additional episodes that we do. Thank you, Jose.
Thank you.